I have something to contribute to the planet. I have something to contribute to society. And that's where I started my one-man protest at Starbucks. I don't have an outlet, so I will do that. When I became homeless and I was reduced to doing this Uber shit, because yeah, get a fucking job. You try getting a job with no place to shower, change, and keep your clothes, any of that shit. And you can give crap to the fucking homeless, and why don't you shower? Well, I'll tell you, we don't have a fucking shower. It's like an hour and a half out of my day to take a shower, and when I'm doing the 10 to 12 hours of Ubering to make $100, there was one day I did like 8-10 hours and I made $13.48 baking in the sun. I have a bunch of those videos. I may or may not load. I'm not the typical homeless that people are seeing. You know, I have a vehicle. My vehicle's about to crap out. I beat the crap out of it. I got a check engine light that has been on for 2 years. I have paid close to $500 at 3 different times to diagnose it. Changed out the part, misdiagnosis. It's like, holy crap. I'm now down to 12.7 miles a gallon. My radiator leaks. I patched it only to put it in, and successful patch, but another leak. Pulled it out, patched it successfully. Yeah, nope, another leak. So it's costing me several hours to fix and repair, as opposed to buy a $200 radiator, put it in, be done with it. Because I can't afford the $200. So now what I'm doing is, along with all the fluids that I'm adding to my motor, to the transmission, to my differentials, my transfer case, which seems like a waste on the transfer case and front diff, because my 4-wheel drive doesn't work, that light's flashing. So I got 2-wheel drive, and I don't know what's wrong with my 4-wheel drive, because I paid for the diagnosis on the motor. And let's get that fixed before diagnosis on the 4-wheel drive. But, oh well. Last night I was driving around, how I tell I need water in my, so I added, so because I can't afford the $200 radiator, I'm now buying antifreeze and water and mixing it, because, you buy the concentrate, it's 2/3 the cost, so, somewhere in there, as opposed to the pre-mixed. So I buy the concentrated, I buy the water, I mix it, and I'm going through about a gallon a day in fluids. Cool. I'm spreading all over the frickin' the environment, and it's what can I do? It's my house, it's my source of income. The heat started blowing cold air. I pull over, get my water into the cooling system, fill it up enough that I've got heat again. I climb in the truck, and my ABS light goes on, and my brake light, parking light, I don't know, something's not right. But mechanically it seems to be working. My brake fluid was topped off, so I got no leakage there. So I don't know what's wrong with my brakes. I suspect it might be a sensor in the front wheel bearing, which can go before the bearing goes, but I don't know. Point is, once you become homeless, and the fucking consequences, everything's just adding up. You get a speeding ticket, and holy crap, I didn't get a speeding ticket. What did I go? Oh, no inspection sticker, because I can't afford to get my truck inspected. It's like, holy crap, that put me a week away from whatever. And it's, my front end. I'm trying to get my front end fixed. I have most of the parts right now. I've got my axle shaft my front axle bearings, axle shaft bearings to put in. I got Max, my buddy here at the Market Basket. He does the landscaping maintenance of the parking lot. We've been associates for 2 years, and we crossed the line into friendship last week, which was quite exciting, given how abandoned I've been by anybody else Wealthy people don't hang out with homeless people, and I can't go out and have drinks. I can't afford to. Hell, right now I can't even afford. I'm hardly able to afford to eat. I had food stamps or EBT, the first year or so, and apparently I'm making too much money. And it's like, holy crap. So with EBT, I used to be able to go into grocery stores and, get pre-made cold meals. You can't get a hot one. You're not supposed to get pre-made stuff, but it only qualifies for hot stuff. So I'm spending my EBT on sushi at the Market Basket, and I could stock up and get some crackers and some snacks and, things that, comfort food. And every now and then I could afford to eat out. But I don't know what the numbers were. It was, I think it, came around the first of the year. I think I probably did well in December. I do well in snowstorms, and they don't deduct mileage. So a third of what I'm making isn't made. It's spent on gas. But put me over food stamps. So I don't get the EBT, which means my diet is much more restricted. I have a very limited budget, and I'm not going to say, people are going to say, you don't buy the $7 coffee and blah blah. I smoke. I know it's a downfall. It's more expensive than either one of my storage units. It is my most expensive monthly expense. Well, food would be, but I haven't tracked it. Sometimes I get disgusted with the how much I spend on cigarettes, and it's like, holy crap, I could have bought this, I could have bought that. But it's my one comfort that I have, and I know it's self-destructive. I'm feeling it. I can hardly breathe sometimes. But with the stress that I'm under, it's like, how the hell would I quit? Now, I haven't smoked pot in a week. Today being a difficult day, I'm fighting that off. I'm not sure that I'm going to make it. I may be heading down for a joint. Because with the truck, it's like it's just getting closer and closer to, I don't have a vehicle. I don't have a house. I don't have a source of income. And I'm going to be on the fucking streets. Tell me you could stop the one comfort thing you've known all your life in the middle of all of that. But I'm not begging for money. I like, the banks were too big to fail. I'm too joyous to fail. You can't let me fail doing what I do. I might get the bare minimum $9.50 a month. If I have public housing, that's going to cost me 30%. Well, now I'm down to living off of $650 a month. Less than that. And then you got Medicare and Medicaid, and it's just, I don't deserve to go out that way. I have played hard, played by the rules, honest, ethical, and joyfully. So, help me out. I'm going to wrap this up because I don't know how long anybody's going to watch me ramble. But I'm going to do another one on some of my thinking that the fucking intellectuals aren't doing, and maybe somebody will step in with me. Thanks so much. Peace and love and harmony. And joy to the world. Give me a joy to the world if you run into me. Thanks so much.